Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Boys, friends, welcome. Welcome. Okay, can everyone hear Adam? Hold up, let me, Hello?
Hello?
There we go, dude. Hey.
Hey.
We are live, boys. Hey, guys, thank you for tuning in live on twitch.tv/chocolate with an underscore.
Chocolate with an underscore.
Welcome to the very first episode of the PUGcast, the normally Monday night WoW podcast. That's just before the reset day. So here we go. God, I am nervous. Adam.
Don't be nervous, man.
Dude.
You stream almost every night, man.
I know,
but be nervous about?
It's just different. But guys, welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are here for the PUGcast. We do have the brand new Pug emo, so you can spam that as much as you want. And we are just going to get right into it. Adam, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started playing WoW and all of that good stuff, man.
Sure. Well, hello everyone. My name is Adam. I go by AdamShwaginz on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and all that jazz. I started playing WoW when I first saw the Make Love Not Warcraft South Park episode. And I remember so clearly, I was just like, watching it the first time, and I was like, wow, like, I have to play this game. So I did what every child did and said, yo, Dad, Mom, I need to go to GameStop and get this game. Like,
Give me $15 a month.
I know, right? And they're like, oh, okay, fine. So then started playing WoW, and I never stopped.
Nice, man.
And it took me so long to get a hang of the game. Like, honestly, it took me so long. I'm actually a little ashamed to admit how long it took me to figure out how to play WoW officially. But I had so much fun just like logging in and just like being a little noob, running around Teldrassil and doing the wetlands run, and just memories that I'll always have. And it's crazy that I've made it this far, and
I'm kind of
almost 15 years later.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on there. I mean, I didn't see I was playing WoW before the South Park episode came out.
Yeah.
But not by much. I mean, I had started back in early Burning Crusade, late vanilla, early Burning Crusade. My first memory of playing WoW was actually at my friend's house. I played on his computer.
Right.
He was level 60 warrior, and he had all of the stuff or whatever, and he was playing a lot. And I made a human warlock on his computer, and was playing that for a little bit whenever I went over there.
Warlock? You
Human,
want that intellect buff?
a human. Well, listen, man, this is my first time playing. I was like, I'm a human. I'll play a human. There it is.
True.
And then but I knew that I was just gonna be all about this game. So when I got home, I was like, hey, Mom, Dad, I need to buy this game. I did not tell them that there was a sub fee. I just told them that I wanted the game, and we had one computer. Back in the early 2000s, you had one computer in the family, one family computer, and it was in the living room. So, man, and so of course I wanted to play. So my little brother wanted to play.
Yeah, of course.
And but I didn't tell my parents that there was a sub fee. They found out, of course, after the fact, after they'd already bought the game. And so
Little Chocolate, why are you making us pay $15 a month?
basically.
Just like playing WoW, okay?
Play WoW, Mom. Well, yeah. So I just kind of scammed them into getting me WoW, and then there it was, dude. My computer was so shitty. It was so bad that I made another human warlock. And my computer was so bad that I literally got frozen in Stormwind.
Oh yeah.
And my character was just useless. I couldn't do anything. I would log in, I would move 2 steps, and I'd get disconnected, or my computer would just explode.
It's funny because when I first started, I was playing on the fat backed Dell PC, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that less than 5 FPS was terrible. I was playing at such low FPS, and it took me until my friend started playing WoW in BC, and he was playing on the new iMac, and it was a
Oh,
lot
okay.
smoother. I'm like, no fucking way does WoW run this crisp on an iMac.
Oh
So
man.
I had to eventually upgrade later on. So and yeah.
Speaking of IMAX, I had played on an so whenever I had moved out, and me and my wife, girlfriend at the time, she was going through college, I was working. We had bought her an Apple computer, like an a MacBook Pro or whatever,
Right.
and that was our only computer that we had. So that's what I played WoW on. That's what I had played WoW on, and I thought it was the best thing ever, man. And then I soon realized that I'm playing on freaking graphic setting 2 the entire time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's funny
Not
because
good.
I've been playing on WoW on a Mac since right up until the BFA beta, and I finally got
Wow.
an MSI Stealth Pro laptop.
There it is, dude.
Yep, yep. It's crazy.
Man, that's
How,
crazy.
how old were you when you first started playing WoW, by the way?
I just turned 14. So this was
Nice.
well, yeah, this was about 14, so that was 2006. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was
So
in
it
sixth
was
grade.
right at the very tail end of vanilla is when
Yeah,
when I first had played WoW. So,
right.
man, I love WoW, and I see that we have all of the boys and girls in chat.
All the boys and girls in chat, of course.
And I just want to
The
say thank
usual
you guys for tuning
suspects.
in live. We are going to be uploading this on YouTube as well, so make sure that if you missed it, or if you want to watch it while you are at the gym, or working, and you have it
At
on
the gym.
on the background, then oh yeah, I forgot, gym's closed except for in Texas, because Texas is the best.
Yeah.
Then it is going to be available on YouTube as well, probably a day after or whatever. So, man, Adam, let me tell you something.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you to tell me, what is your best WoW memory? Like, what's like when you think of like WoW, like what is your favorite thing that has ever happened to you in game, or what's like your most memorable moment?
Well, I've told this a lot, but back in those days when I was first starting, I I started out as a night elf druid because I saw the trailer. I'm like, yo, I have to be that
True.
character, like transforming into like a cat and a bear and whatnot.
Of course.
So it took me like 2 months to get to level 10. That's that's how newbie I was. And then I was like, what do I do now? Like, where's my bear form? Whatever. And then like, okay, that's actually a separate story. Whatever. I was just such a noob. Whatever. So then I went to school and I found out that my friend from middle school also played. His name was Max.
Okay.
And I was just
Was
he was
it
just like, yo, you play WoW?
Maximos?
It was. Do you know what's actually really funny? Sidetrack. My first ever character, when I sat there at the computer and my dad and I were just like staring at the login screen, and I was like, what should I name this guy? He was a night elf druid. He was just like, my dad was like, oh, what about Maximus, like from Gladiator? And I
Oh
was like,
my gosh.
that's a great name, and I misspelled it to Maxe, like something stupid. It's like ridiculously like close to
Yeah.
Maximus, like how he spells it. And I think I told it to him once. And so to this day, that druid is still named Max E Most or some shit like that.
Maximos.
But anyway, sidetrack. What was I saying? Like my memory, whatever. My friend Max from school was like, "Oh, have you ever been to Stormwind City?" I'm just like, "What's that?"
What
And
is
he's like,
this?
"You've never been to Stormwind?" I'm just like, "No, what the hell is Stormwind?" And he's like, "It's the best place in the game. You have to go to Stormwind." And I'm just like, "Well, how do I get there? I have to go there. Holy shit." So then
True.
I ended up like doing the wetlands run without knowing that it was the actual like wetlands run.
Yeah.
And somehow, like, I almost made it to Stormwind. I wound up somehow in the pit in Blackrock Mountain.
What?
I fell. I don't know how I made it to Blackrock Mountain, but I fell into Blackrock Mountain, and for some reason the button at the top where it says "Return to Graveyard," like
Yeah.
I don't think that was implemented yet.
No.
So my mommy had to get on the phone with Blizzard when they actually accepted phone calls back in the day, and they teleported me out. And then that's when I noticed that they started putting the button there to like return.
You
to
are the reason why. You're the reason
Yeah.
why we
Yeah,
have that.
That was me.
That's fantastic, man. That's
Yeah.
great.
So that was one of my best memories. And then just like the usual, just like pretending to be sick. on the release day of Wrath.
Yep.
And I pretended to be sick, and then convinced my mother to then drive me to GameStop to buy Wrath of the Lich King, and then come home, download it on my computer, and say, "Mom, by the way, I'm not sick." And she said, "I know." And I played Wrath all the rest of that day.
Man, that's.
Yep.
I don't know what's more impressive, you or your mom just allowing it. Like that's. Also, Loctite, Adam is not the reason for BFA. Okay, let's be clear.
Thanks, Loctite.
So I always had bad luck whenever like I came to like skipping school to play WoW back in the day, and it was always on patch day when they had like 8 hours of downtime, on the servers. That's when it would happen to me, and so I'd be like, all right, so like I'm gonna be home, my parents are gonna be at work, and it's time to play some WoW while I'm skipping school. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Patch day.
No.
Not even patch day, but just like server maintenance for like 8 hours. So I'm like, well, I could have just gone to school and came home and played WoW whenever it was, finally up and running. That's always like
so it's pointless.
9 times out of 10 that happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was
you just have to be there, stare at the computer though.
Yeah, that's true. True. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Another thing, like that I'll just never forget is like just constantly like watching like Total Biscuit and like just a bunch of like WoW hobs and just like people back in the day on YouTube, like just making content about like the Wrath beta, the Kata beta, like soloing at like Scarlet Monastery and everything like that. Just like blew my mind and just like changed my perspective on the game. Okay. And it's crazy to think about like how little YouTube content there was back in that day and how much there is now, and like how much we know about the game and how less we did back then. It's just like mind-blowing.
The first person that I watched WoW content on was Asmongold.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. I just thought it'd be funny to say that.
Like what?
No, I watched like WoW hobs, and I used to watch like WoW hobs like gold making guides. I've always wanted to make gold in WoW, but I'm just so bad on it. I'm just so bad at it.
Oh, I'm
so I have like a little over, I probably have like 200K on my character right now, so I'm happy with that. If I can get the long boy, great. If not, whatever. But
WoW hobs is great.
WoW hobs is fantastic. Now he plays Hearthstone. He barely plays WoW now. He just plays Hearthstone.
He's streaming right now, actually.
He's live right now. What the hell are you doing watching this stream?
No, he's great. I did a little documentary with a bunch of creators, and he was so nice to actually join in and actually record footage of himself in Scarlet Monastery, like on retail.
That's
and it was so cool that he did that. Yeah, he was great.
Also speaking of content creation, Adam, isn't your South Park World of Warcraft video sitting at a little over, was it 41,000 views now?
I didn't want to talk about it on this,
41,000 views. That's impressive.
So anyone that doesn't know, well, back to my story of how I started playing WoW. I started playing WoW, after I saw the South Park episode. I took it upon myself when Classic came out, or was announced, to start to create a WoW Make Love Not Warcraft sequel machinima.
Perfect.
So and I just noticed like recently that it hit 40,000 views. And I'm stoked. I cannot believe it. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
That's insane, man. Again, that's like
fully
every
voice
like
acted by me, and
yeah, that's crazy. True. I
very proud of it.
I remember like you showing me like little like clips back whenever it was in production, and
yeah.
I just knew that it was going to be a hit.
I had to show someone. I was so hyped while I was making it.
It was good, man. It was great.
Yeah.
Man. So like, obviously, like Shadowlands is coming out, and I'm actually kind of like, I don't know. I'm excited about Shadowlands, but I'm also like nervous because of how bad BFA was.
Jump right into it. Yeah, sure. Cautiously optimistic. We're all
I don't know. Like, like, there's a lot of things that I like about Shadowlands, and there's like a few things that I'm like not happy about. One of those things is like the Covenant abilities. Of like, I've never really been one to care like how balanced the game is. Like if one class is really good, then one class is really good.
Yeah.
I tend to just play what I like. Right now my favorite class is Death Knight, and I've mained Death Knight for a while now. So that's what I'm going to be maining in Shadowlands, and I'll have different alts or whatever. But it looks like Howie says Shadowlands will be poggers. Every other expansion will suck to make the next one great. That's true. That's actually true.
It's just like a vicious cycle of Blizzard having like a really good expansion and then like a not so great expansion and then a really good expansion. It's hard, but what's comforting for me to see, at least, like compared to back in the day of the BFA beta, like seeing the comparison in communication from them, it's just like extremely comforting to see like how open they are to like working with the community to save this game.
And not only that, like, I mean, and I agree that they are literally trying to save the game at this point, because I mean, like when you look at the tier list of WoW expansions, BFA is like smack dab at the bottom. Like they're really sad. It's really sad, and it's so sad that they made BFA the worst expansion, because BFA has like one of the best end bosses. Like N'Zoth is such a cool character to have. Like we didn't even have like art of N'Zoth from Blizzard until Hearthstone. It was actually like,
that's true.
The first art was like a Hearthstone card.
Yeah, we didn't really know what he
so
looked
nobody
like
knew what N'Zoth looked like, or like they had like obviously they had like ideas, but there was nothing like super official until Hearthstone, and that's even more weird that they released art for N'Zoth on Hearthstone before they did in WoW.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
Yeah, BFA was just this weird like melting pot of like really shitty ideas.
Yeah.
And then
the one thing that I really didn't like about it was like, I don't know, just like the progression of like multiple different stories at once, and it's just like we didn't even get like the full grasp of like what the main story was.
There was too much going on. Patch. Yeah, there's too much going on, and it was like they tried to tell 10 shitty stories instead of telling one good one.
True.
I feel like with the Lich King there was like 4 stories. There was like,
I was about to say,
Ulduar. Like I feel like Wrath of the Lich King had the best storytelling in WoW. Like had the best narrative. Like the end boss, like the last big bad guy was clear. He was on the box. You knew exactly what to expect. You knew that you were going to fight the Lich King. And then you look at BFA's box, and it's literally some random orc and some random human.
And it's crazy because like the main like central villain, I guess you could say, is Sylvanas in BFA, and we didn't even get to really know like what her like motivations were until the Shadowlands freaking cinematic.
Dude, don't even get me started on Sylvanas, because I actually hate her so much. I know that all of these Sylvanas simps are gonna be like, ugh, my queen, baby.
I know,
but like I just hate her, dude. Like she was a really cool character, basically until she became war chief. Then she became I'm not gonna say it.
She was like very cool, like working in the shadows, right, and everything. Like I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, it was better in Speak Your Truth. It was better when like during the Wrathgate, whenever she secretly poisoned both the Horde and the Alliance. That was cool. That was like, damn.
Yeah. It's hard for me to sit here and say that I don't like Sylvanas, because like when I actually met Patty Matson, and she's just like the sweetest person that I know. Well, not that I know, obviously, but like one of the sweetest people that I met at BlizzCon. I came up to her and I was like, oh, like I do like videos for Jay the Bard and everything. And,
nice.
And she's like, oh yeah, like that video you made for him was so cool, whatever. And like she was talking to me like as if we already knew each other, and like we're talking about like the different things going on in BlizzCon, and it's just like so.
Did she give you a good old Banshee? Ree!
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean,
she flew off into her Voldemort dust. Into
nice.
The wind.
Good. That's what I would expect from Patty.
Yeah.
Me and her go way back. She's actually my mom. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Tell her to say hello.
She bought me. She's the one that I didn't tell that there was a WoW subscription cost. So.
Oh, she must.
It's her fault. It's all her fault.
But
I don't know, man. Like, I think even now going into Shadowlands, we don't really know who like the true bad guy is. Obviously, we have the jailer, but like.
Yeah, we don't know anything about
him. I feel like he's a pretty new character that's been brought up in lore.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That's good. I think it's good, but who does a jailer work for? And more importantly, are we going to be able to kill Sylvanas in this expansion? Can we finally just kill Sylvanas? Like, I'm sorry, Patty, you're going to be out of work for a while, but we got to kill Sylvanas. Side note, if anyone from Blizzard ever sees this for some reason, I am formally putting in a request to please put the South Park troll, the griefer, Jenkins, as an
NPC.
NPC in the Shadowlands.
He should
please.
just
And
he should
maybe
just
Henny.
be walking around Westfall. Just have him walking around Westfall and have him be like an unkillable character that would literally just gank you whenever you aggro him.
Well, yeah, but I mean in the Shadowlands, because
Oh
he's
yeah.
dead. They
Oh,
killed
that's
him.
true. They killed him. That's actually true.
Yeah. It's just baffling that there is no actual South Park reference to. There's no reference to South Park in WoW other than on the Sword of a Thousand, on Slayer of the Lifeless. It says crafted by Saltzman or something.
Yeah. What about what covenant do you think he would be in, the griefer?
Actually, Maximo said that to me on Twitter. I think what I said to Maximo in reply to that was that he would have just killed all of the covenants.
He is the jailer. He's the jailer.
True. He
all right, you heard it here first. Spoiler alert. The griefer from South Park episode is the jailer. Confirmed here. I am Blizzard, so I know. Trust me.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm excited. There's a lot of aesthetically, this could be the best expansion ever. Aesthetically.
Aesthetically, yeah. I was gonna say best expansion ever. Okay, let's.
Well, I mean, obviously we don't know that.
Yeah,
we're not even
but I do think art wise, everything that I've seen art wise has been so good.
The art team has really been kicking ass.
It's so good that even the male sets don't look bad. For a male set to not look like shit, that's a miracle in itself.
I know. They're actively trying to make male the best looking armor in the game.
Man, it makes me pissed off because I hate playing hunters and I hate playing shamans. I hate both of those classes.
The game looks great while it makes you feel bad. Very true, Maximos. And
Damn.
I'm hoping that that's not the case. When Shadowlands comes.
I don't know. I feel the big problem with BFA, and it was like this at the end, kind of at the tail end of Legion as well. Whenever they included personal loot as the main looting system.
Oh, you hate personal loot.
I hate it, dude.
Much.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's for all of you LFR piss babies. I hate personal loot, and you don't deserve any of the gear most of the time, unless you're just doing LFR just for just to have fun, and you're I don't know. I feel any person can join a normal guild, like a normal raiding guild. You don't have to do heroic. You don't but at least normal mode. I think that should be the ground floor of raiding. I think LFR made it too accessible for everybody, and it pisses me off that some of the LFR sets look better than the normal and heroic set. It makes me so mad because then you gotta queue up and meet with join a bunch of people. You got to join this random pug.
It's true. I think the reasoning for keeping LFR in the game and the dungeon finder and everything like that is because why do you say money?
Because they're catering. This is basically I'm speaking, basically Asmongold right now, but they're catering to the lazy majority of WoW gamers.
True. Yeah, I was about to say a lot of people that play WoW don't actually like to socialize with people in the game.
True.
And that's I guess cool whatever, but it's the game is supposed to be played socially.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I've honestly been playing kind of alone since WoD.
Damn.
My friend, another friend of mine from high school stopped playing in WoD.
Feels bad.
And for some reason I kept playing, but I've just been playing alone ever since then. And then the other day, I was just you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna make an EU subscription, an EU account, and just play with Mr. GM and our friends Dorith and Harry and everybody over there. It was actually really fun, and playing with just a group of people, leveling without looms. Don't even get me started on why I hate heirloom armor in WoW. Oh my god! But yeah, it was actually cozy just to go through DM and Westfall and
it's fun to play the game with
level
friends.
Up. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I think good guilds are so important to the game. Because I don't know. Like I feel like chocolate uses heirlooms. That's actually true. I do use heirlooms. I actually only use heirlooms whenever I even at max level, instead of me equipping the best gear, I just equip all heirlooms because in the end of the day, the XP gains is what's more important.
Yeah, true. I guess.
I would
Yeah.
actually, speaking of heirlooms, I would actually like them. I would actually like to see them do something different with heirlooms, where instead of you buying gear, you just like it's just like a static XP increase, like it's like a tabard or whatever, or
Yeah, I was
like
gonna say. Yeah.
some sort of item that isn't that doesn't have to change your stats because it does feel bad whenever like you get a really like you get like like the chest of the Fang from Wailing Caverns. You're like, well, I
Yeah.
could equip this and it could be really cool, or I could just get an additional 10% XP and never have to look at this, and then I just vendor
Right.
it for
Right.
gold. Like
But
I feel like
exactly, but not even
getting
that.
gear is
Like
fun.
not even like that. Like the next level, which comes like in 2 seconds, it's just gonna be a downgrade anyway. So like, it
That's
doesn't make
also
sense
true.
to equip any new gear because the looms scale with your whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I actually looked into this because I was debating, like, actually making, like, a forum post about deleting fucking looms from the game. But, like, a lot of people actually felt the same way, and a lot of people also think that they need to stay. And it's really painful to see people be like, no, I want to keep my looms. I spent so much gold.
I
But,
spent
like, I understand
7,000 gold on my heirlooms.
exactly how they sound. Yeah. And I'm
They're
kidding.
typing.
But...
Dear Blizzard.
Dear Blizzard, and then Taliesin talks about it on the shit show obviously segment. But what were they saying? No, people were saying like, oh, they don't want to like get rid of looms because they spend so much gold on them. But yeah, I mean, I get that, but like, Blizz could just refund you the gold.
Yeah, but you also spend 4,500 gold on flying on like the second to last tier of flying, and they're also removing that from the game as well. So like.
I know, yeah.
It's the same
But,
thing,
I mean,
and people are happy about that. They're like, finally, I can save 4,500 gold on flying. But
it's true.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of the changes that Blizzard implements are like Band-Aid fixes instead of like fixing the root of the. It's like whenever like your tree is rotting and you just cut off the branch that looks like shit, when
Yeah.
really the roots of the tree are bad, and the tree just needs to go.
That's true. It's very true. I mean, yeah, just like my whole like reasoning for hating looms is just like it just feels bad when you level. Like, I mean, yeah, like you level up quick.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, I
it
feel
just
like
takes away.
even heirlooms
ahead.
were like even like heirlooms were like a Band-Aid fix because leveling was so shitty. So they're like, oh, how can we make this better?
That's
Let's
true,
give
you're
them
right.
additional XP. And then they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it still feels shitty. How can we make it better? They can just pay us and we'll give them a max level character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's why like I'm so happy that they're scaling back
Oh.
like max level to 60 because like
Yeah, 120
I
levels
ju-
is really daunting for
yeah,
anyone who's
I just
coming to
did
the
it
game.
again. Like I leveled a gnome from 1 to 120 just so I can get the armor and everything, the
Yeah.
heritage armor. And like after I hit 60, I was just like,
I'm tired of
I don't
this.
want to do this again. I don't want to do this. Like, so then I just like party sank with like another like starter account character that I had,
Yeah.
and I just leveled from like 60 to 120, like
Hey.
almost primarily in Azeroth.
And what's
Like-
funny, and what's funny enough is like that is actually one of the fastest way to level is just party sync. It's so
It
broken.
really is, and they're probably gonna fuck.
They're probably
but,
gonna
like,
nerf it, but
Which is a shame because like if people want to do that, then let them do that. I
yeah,
mean,
if
like,
people want to be miserable playing your game and just leveling it fast, then let them do what they
Exactly.
want, Blizzard.
yeah, and it's that reminds me like they completely ruined dungeon boosting in retail.
Oh, yeah,
WoW.
true.
Like if there's like a max level character in your dungeon, then you get like a significant amount, like a significant percentage off of XP or some shit like that.
Yeah,
And that just like
it's like
pissed me
it
the
like
hell
it like
off.
cuts it
Like,
off by like 99%. It's so bad.
Yeah,
But hey,
yeah.
just keep talking. My dog is looking at me funny, and I think he needs to go outside. So I'll be right back. I'm just gonna let him. I'm just gonna open the door and let him out.
Okay, fine. No, yeah. So I guess to chat, what I was saying, like, I used to love like going back and like getting dungeon boosted from some friends or something like that, or going on and like somehow figuring out how to dungeon boost myself. Like, it's just like little like small hacks that like made the game kind of fun to like progress through, and
Yeah.
like. And on Classic WoW, like you have like a bunch of people like getting boosted, and people want to buy like Scarlet Monastery boosts or
Well,
even
even like
boosts.
that, like there's they even though they like nerfed the whole like twinking boost, they're still like you're so strong with max
Yeah.
level at max level. Like I can like on my Death Knight, I can fully clear freehold by
Oh, yeah, yeah,
myself
we're
on
talking about
normal.
this.
And
Yeah.
so, like, I even started selling runs for Freehold to level up people because you can make 60,000 gold in an hour. You know, it's each level for 6K, easy money,
yeah,
dude.
I actually tried it on my server, like to list the group, like want to sell freehold runs, and
Yeah.
nobody did it. My server is so dead. Like,
You should,
I play on
you should.
iTrig.
I haven't even
NA.
heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should definitely not transfer to Kel'Thuzad because it's a fun server to be on, but like all of the
I feel like
guilds,
there's a lot of people there.
it's just a
I would
lot.
love to.
Yeah, and like it's so hard to make gold on that server because there's
Really, because it's so
I don't know.
saturated.
I feel like Sargeras or like one of like the big populated other servers would be better. I feel like
Yeah.
Kel'Thuzad is the same thing as like Fairlena, where it's basically the streamer server. Is what it
True.
essentially is.
Oh, so
True.
that reminds me. Let's bring it back to well, the reason why we wanted to do this podcast was to like primarily talk about like the news of WoW and just like our opinions on like Shadowlands and stuff and like the new stuff coming. But like also we were at one point, you know, classic gamers, right? Like,
yeah, true.
So like if we do want to eventually like talk a little bit about classic, like we can.
Speaking
we're
of
not
classic.
like. Yeah, we're like primarily retail people because
true.
I don't know, like I never made it to 60.
Yeah, me neither. I still have my 57 gnome mage on Heartseeker, which is 99% alliance, and it's the most boring server to play on.
Yeah. No, I mean like we were actually talking before we went live and we were talking about classic, and like I was saying how like I'm having like a different experience now because like when I first started playing Classic, when Classic first launched, like I was like, okay, I'm gonna start off with Warlock and I'm gonna get my mount and get to 60 whatever, and then level an alt and then like get their mount whatever and actually pay for it. And then I was like, you know what, hey, Warlock's really not for me. I'm gonna go with Paladin. Fuck, I went Ret Paladin.
The AFK king, baby.
Yeah, it was not a good choice. And then I was like, you know what, let me go Mage. I didn't like Mage after a while, and I'm just like, you can see a trend. I was very like indecisive with what I wanted to play.
Yeah.
And then I started playing Rogue, and I actually liked Rogue, but then I just like kind of lost the motivation to keep playing.
Yeah.
Because I was so burnt out from leveling
from
fucking
all of the
4
other
characters to 40.
True. That's actually a really good point.
So like I took. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
What ended up happening was I just stopped playing for a while. I just stopped playing Classic for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'll just come back to it when I feel like it.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned before one of my high school friends, he was like, "Yo, like I'm gonna get WoW. I just got WoW. Like me, my brother, my cousin, we all just got it." Like, oh fuck, like my group of friends that I used to play with. And so they started playing Classic Horde. Disgusting, but I recently just jumped on and I made like a level. I made a warrior. An unfriendly character, yes, correct. I made an undead warrior because at least they were once alliance. So I started leveling a warrior, and warrior is actually a lot of fun. I got it up to 14 so far.
Nice.
I didn't play warrior because Mr. GM was playing warrior
in
Classic. He was complaining the whole fucking way.
I'm
like, all right,
I
guess warrior sucks.
Second.
Like
yeah,
I just never did it. So that's the story right there. Don't listen to streamers, okay?
Yeah, true.
Don't listen to streamers. Do whatever you want to do.
Listen,
all right.
I hate
if you want to try out warrior, then play warrior.
I hate streamers, by the way.
I hate streamers so much.
Well, fun fact, I actually reinstalled Classic WoW today. I just got the itch.
Uninstalled it.
I had uninstalled it. Yeah.
How dare you?
Well, I didn't like intentionally. I didn't go through and like click the uninstall button. Like I had basically did like a fresh restart on my computer, like a fresh Windows install on it. It was just acting funny. I just never reinstalled Classic WoW just because I was like, well, if I want to play it, I'll install it. It's like 2 gigs. It takes 2 seconds to download, so like it's fine. But I was like, you know what? I was talking to Sindra Gozer, and he was like talking about how he was, boosting all of these people through stockades and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, it'd be kind of fun to, be fun, do some stuff. So I decided to reinstall it. And Donut Jared, I will send you the 30 gold because I have 41 gold on my mage. I will send you the 30 gold that I owe you, and then I will delete my mage and never look back at that level 57 piece of crap.
Delete him at 57. Oh my god.
I'm deleting him at 57. I might even do it on stream tonight just to really make an impact.
Make a point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll stick to playing warrior for a little bit and try and get to level 60 and play with my actual friends. Like,
I think
and
warrior gets really good at 60. I think
yeah,
I
but
think at 60 most classes just get really good because you have your
Yeah.
full kit or whatever. But I
right.
feel like warrior is just exceptionally better at 60.
Yeah, and it sucks because like originally I made Cartman, like I got the name Cartman on Farolina, and I
Hey,
made him a warrior, and then I like was loving him. I'm like, you know what? Let me try Paladin. And I deleted it and I made a Paladin, and I made the stupid mistake of fucking of making a Paladin. And now like my goal in Classic is to get to a high enough level so that I can equip Cartman's actual gear. I actually got all of his gear except
nice.
for like the pants because they were rogue pants, and then like the belt was from MC.
Okay.
So I have like all of Cartman's like transmog on Classic,
Yeah.
but I just need to get to like level 52, and it's just so fucking painful to play Paladin on on Classic. It's ridiculous. I don't know if I can do it. So
I mean, literally just pull up Netflix, just have like you can like build like a machine to press like your seal button
yeah, true,
and your
true,
judgment,
true.
and
Yeah.
you just like time it where it's just like every however many seconds it is, it just goes boop
Just grind mobs.
boop. Yeah, and then now you can just literally pull a mob, watch Netflix, and it just does all the work for you. It's like those people who build like the swiping machines for Tinder, except you build
Oh, yeah.
a button press machine for WoW.
Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of
Smart.
leveling Classic and Sindragozer boosting everybody,
Yeah.
Sindragozer is actually like the GOAT, and he actually summoned Asmongold today to
Get Thunder
to go
Fury.
get Thunder Fury. So
Yeah, I was
it's
there,
Paul-
Pog you. I was here and I was there in chat. I was like, I had ordered a pizza, and I was like, all right. They said it'd be 20 minutes, so I ordered the pizza, and as soon as I ordered it, I saw that he was about to get in. I was like, all right, I can't leave until so this better be quick, because I got to go
Yeah.
get my pizza.
I actually
and-
missed it. I was out today.
And there it was, dude. There it was.
went
I
out
saw it
for a walk.
out the door, got my pizza, easy clap.
Yeah, Pog you,
But-
Sindragozer.
Yeah, so like I don't know. I feel like there's like a lot of things that I want out of Shadowlands, and I think the most important thing for me that I want out of Shadowlands is that it's as good as Legion. If it's as good
Yeah,
as Legion,
well-
I'm happy. Like, cause I feel
for
like,
sure.
or really, if it's as good as MOP without the 16-month content drought, hey,
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
That's
But
true.
yeah,
I think like what disappointed me the most about BFA. So this is actually why I wanted to do like a podcast, because like I have so many thoughts about fucking WoW, and I
Yeah.
just have nowhere to put them except for like a comment section on YouTube.
you should get a wife because your wife
Should
is
get a wife?
your wife is forced to listen to you about
That's
you
true.
talking about WoW all the time, and
That's
she
true.
just goes, "Oh yeah, that's really cool." She don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Half the
Yeah,
time, I don't even think
exactly.
she's listening to me when I talk about WoW. But
Yeah, maybe I'll just get a wife.
at least I have I have an outlet. So
Yeah, true. So
Get a wife.
When I was just get a wife. I'll try my best. We'll see.
just buy
Uh,
a wife, forehead.
Yeah, just buy one. Oh my god. What the hell was I saying? So the reason why I was so disappointed in BFA was just because like we were coming from an expansion that was so centered around class fantasy and class
So
identity,
good.
and like some of the best class sets in the game.
Oh,
Like, and just the content was just endless. Like, you had class specific stories to progress through on each alt that you had, and a beautiful mount at the end of each of one of those quests, right? Quest lines. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't even finished one of those yet.
Oh
I
yeah,
need- I need to
I have
finish
to.
it.
I have to keep doing some of them actually. Yeah. So in BFA, like when they stripped away everybody's class gear and gave everybody the same gear, looking like goddamn NPCs.
Oh, I think you can really tell if an expansion is going to be good based off the gear that you see. Because
It's true.
if you
It's
think
true.
about it, like Miss Pandaria gear, I don't really like Miss Pandaria gear. I'm not really into
No,
it.
me neither. It wasn't the best gear.
And
but
like
I actually
Cataclysm
had the most
gear,
fun pay.
I really
Go
wasn't
ahead.
into Cataclysm gear either. Everything in
Yeah.
Wrath was pretty good except for the Trial of the Crusader.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just like the exception to the rule.
Mhm.
But like classic Burning Crusade Wrath all had really good sets. Legion, great sets. WoD, good sets, bad expansion. Like I said,
True,
exception to the
true.
rule. BFA, bad sets. Find me a good set in BFA, and I might change my mind, but I doubt you can.
This is the problem with, because BFA, like, the gear is actually, like, at least most of it is pretty nice. It's pretty nice looking gear. But it's the fact that literally everybody is running around wearing the same thing that turns me off, and there's nothing unique about, like some pair of gloves that you'll get from a Mythic Plus. Like, it's all just, like, random shit that, like, you can't even name. Like, classic, like, you can, like, name each... Like, you mentioned, like, the Chest of the Fang or whatever the fuck. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because,
true.
We've done that dungeon so many times.
It's memorable. It's like it means a lot whenever you hear about it. Exactly. I feel like the first raid, like old year, right? Like every set was just so lackluster, and it was so
not happy with any of the
it was so monotone. And I know that they're going for a specific theme, but like they could have like included more like old gaudy kind of stuff, like festering bubbles and like things that like were like popping and glowing and growing. Like that to me would make much more sense, because it's more centered around the last boss, right? Gahoon.
Yeah.
Gahoonies. The Gahoonies.
No, so another reason why like I was so disappointed with BFA is because of that gear not being,
good,
interesting enough to, that's what I'm trying to say. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, I need to go get that chest piece or that fucking helmet, right? Like, so that led to me not wanting to play a majority of the game because the gear was just
bad, unexciting, uneventful.
I'll just go farm it next expansion, like if I really wanted something.
Yeah.
And then the problem was like some of the best gear, like the Alliance plate Warfront, Arathi Warfront armor.
Yeah.
That's some really fucking great looking gear, but the way you get it is just so. You have to play through every fucking Warfront.
Like, you know what I thought was so funny? Is that they made Warfronts, like they were talking up like Warfronts so much, right? And obviously, like everyone knows, like the only way to lose a Warfront is if literally you do not move your character for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like the entire, like literally if one person can clear the Warfront and you'd win, like unironic, that's just how it is. But I feel like if they were gonna go for like a Horde versus Alliance themed expansion, then like having like PvP Warfronts would have been so cool.
I was about to say
so
the same
cool
shit, man.
PvP
it took me a while to
cool.
realize that Warfronts weren't gonna be PvP.
I did one, and I was immediately like bored with it. Like I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Like I guess I go into the mine and I get some ore. It's like I'm playing Minecraft / WoW right now, and then I build up my things, and then we win. Like I spawned in 5 minutes later, we won, and I'm like, what did we do? And then I got mediocre gear. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off again, but I just had to say this before my brain forgets it. I wish that the gear from old content would be upgraded, so that way it's still meaningful content, not necessarily raids, because I feel like once you get like the theme of WoW right now is like one raid is one raid, and then you move on to the next raid, and everything from that old raid is garbage. It's useless.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just a BFA exclusive. That's a BFA exclusive feature. Because even in Legion, you would go back and you'd have like a 2 set from the last raid. You'd have like a 2-piece set from the last raid, and then a 4-piece set from the new raid. And you like kind of like mix those two class set bonuses.
Yeah.
So I feel like Warfronts would have been much better if they would have scaled them to match the current content of the game, kind of like how they do with World Quest, right? So like World Quest scale up and they give you better gear as your character gets better. I think it caps out at like 445, which is normal mode raid gear. Like you can get full normal mode raid gear from World Quest, which I don't agree with, by the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
But at least the content stays relevant. It may not be fun, but it's you can do it and get gear and get rewards that you care about. I feel like with Warfronts, it was like a one-time thing. Like you just do it, you get the gear, and then like I've literally done one Warfront. I have like an entire Alliance set from it. There's like my neighbor with the Mustang decided to I told him that I'm recording a podcast, and he's so rude. He just doesn't care.
Yep. No, but so going back to it, like what I genuinely hope to see when we go into like Torghast and like some of the other Shadowlands content is like rare gear, like specific things that we like aim to like get, you know, like that we set goals to get. You know what I'm saying? Like Abyss list would be amazing.
Well, we're having that in Shadowlands now. Like they're adding because they're removing like we're having BIS lists. There's going to be BIS gear again. Now, obviously,
who said that?
Since they're removing Titan Forging and they're removing all of the additional RNG stuff, now there's actually gear that is your technical best in slot.
Because I missed the memo on that. I didn't.
Obviously, like you have like, you know, your different tiers of BIS for like, you know, like heroic BIS is, you know, obviously if you're a heroic raider, then like this is the best gear you can get from heroic to make your character the most optimal as possible. But now there's actually BIS because there's no more Titan Forging, there's no more corruption, and I hate corruption. I hate corruption more than I hate Titan Forging. At least Titan Forging, the only thing thing about Titan Forging is that like you had insane power bloat, but at least you just got a bonus and there was no like ramifications to it. Like you didn't have, you know, you just got a bonus. Hey, you get a little lucky.
That's true.
You get a little lucky sometimes. With corruption, it's like, oh, you get a bonus, but also you got to watch out for the circle thing, and you got, there's a thing that chases you now. Oh, and you know, none of your transmogs going to look good because you have all this purple shit on you. You can't get rid of it unless you upgrade your cloak.
It's like, it's a fun concept like of gameplay, but like I don't really
poor execution.
I don't like that. I don't really
like with most things that Blizzard has done in the last 4 years. Excellent concept, poor execution. And I love Blizzard. I know I talk a lot of shit to Blizzard, but
I
love WoW.
We all love Blizzard, obviously. We're all so like.
I'm not mad at Blizzard. I'm just disappointed.
We all have so many angers and frustrations about the game because we love it so much and we want it to like.
Yeah, we want it to be good.
Stay alive. You know what I mean? Like, and it's funny because like. We're always talking about like other MMOs like that could possibly be good. Like, oh, like have you tried ESO? Oh, like Star Wars. Like all these other games that like we've tried for like maybe 10 minutes and then just been like, all right, fuck this. I'm just gonna go play WoW, even if it's good or bad at that stage of time. I'm always gonna play it because there's nothing else that I would rather play. Yeah, and
the only game that can kill WoW is WoW itself. That's the only thing that will ever be able to dethrone WoW is WoW.
It's true.
And I feel like as like a WoW player, I've missed out on so many good games that I could have played because I just wanted to play WoW. Like, dude,
it's taken me so long. Like, our friend Dorith actually, he lent me his like Origin like account or whatever the hell. And, like I downloaded
account sharing. Monka TOS.
I guess so.
You're reported, buddy.
I downloaded Jedi Fallen Order, and it's just taking me so long to play because, like, well, first of all, it's because it's hard. But secondly, like, I'd just rather be playing like doing other shit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and like every other game that I bought for like Xbox or some shit like that, like I just like, I just don't finish. I just don't know what it is.
It's so weird, man. Like, WoW just has a way of like, WoW is the best game and the worst game at the same time, and it's. Yeah, there are other games. Apparently not, because I just play WoW, dude. Like I played Pokemon for a while, like, you know, like the Pokemon Sword. I got all the Pokemon.
I know Xbox has been pumping EverQuest.
Yeah, well, EverQuest is very similar to WoW, so like I can see the connection, and he's a boomer. That's also true.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Very true. Very very big boomer.
So what do you think about I know there's some like controversy about this, but I mean, it's just like they're so obviously going to do this. But like, what do you think about the Covenant like races being playable?
I don't think it matches the theme of the expansion, only because they're all dead. They're all like.
No, they're not. They're not dead though. Like, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? No, listen. They're reformed souls. You die. And if you're a dragon, you go to a different realm. And if you're fell, I don't know what the realm's called, but all I know is you go to it, right? And like dragons don't go to the Shadowlands. I know that for a fact. Dragons don't go to the Shadowlands, and neither do demons. Right. Demons go back to the Twisting Nether, where they get basically reincarnated and sent back out to attack.
True.
So
no, but like
anything that dies. goes to the
There's also
Shadowlands,
got it.
and you're dead. And the Arbiter's like, you're gonna be a vampire because you're a naughty boy. And so then you go there, and now there it is, and you're dead. So you can't. I feel that like that things from the Shadowlands, if they came back into Azeroth, they would cease to exist. I feel like they're only able to be in that realm.
That's not gonna happen. Like it's such an easy way to first
To
of all make
milk
money for Blizzard,
people,
and also
money.
just like they're not gonna like give up like an opportunity like that because of a lore reason. Like how stupid is that? Like of course like they'll have like a Kyrian fucking travel between worlds and go to Azeroth and be a neutral race and decide
Kyrians are different because like the Kyrians they turn Odin was able to make a deal with someone in the Shadowlands to make Kyrians into Valkyr. So like Valkyr are a creation on Azeroth, right? So they're not like they are related to they come from Kyrian, but they are a creation on Azeroth, so they can be on Azeroth. But I mean the logical answer is
I think it'll happen.
Bobby Kotick wants to get his little grubby little hands on all of our pocketbooks, and he's going to basically
if I could be if I could be a fucking Reverend Drethy boy, vampire-y boy, then yeah. Sure,
also, I don't think it makes sense because if you are a if you're a race from the Revendreth faction, or then you wouldn't be able to join Maldraxxus because you're Revendreth.
I think the answer to that would just be that your default you're going to be by default going to your related covenant. I mean that's
but then you don't have any but then you don't have any free agency. You don't have you're forced to play one, and I feel like even now like you're already forced to play one. I feel like Revendreth is going to be the best one if you're like anywhere near a hardcore player, because from what I've seen, Revendreth definitely has the best abilities.
Yeah,
but
I mean, yeah, for sure.
They'll
They'll make it work as playable races. Thank you, Maximus, for agreeing. Because like it's just so obvious, and like they're such beautifully designed like models. I mean, like I'm not sure about the Necrolords because there's just a bunch of different models for them.
Yeah.
And they're like the ones that we've seen are like kind of cloaked, and then like the other ones that we've seen like
are like more ethereal and just have like floating hands.
There's actually like a Necrolordy boy like model that like has the Colterian I have a picture of it, like the Colterian model
skeleton or whatever.
What's that?
They share the same skeleton is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they have the same like Colterian skeleton. So I mean like that already means that they'll be like playable.
It's kind of like whenever they made orcs stand up straight. Yeah. It's like whenever they make orcs stand up straight, they kind of share the same skeleton as like a Draenei.
No.
Oh no.
No, they have their own.
Well, I mean, like it looks very similar. Like when you look at them like side by side, I don't know. Maybe I might be mixing that with something else.
They do look kind of similar, but I think those that's
goblins and Volpera are the same exact skeleton.
Same skeleton, yeah.
Disgusting.
And that's actually
Volpera,
like
burn him, ban him.
Yeah, fuck Volpera. But that's another thing though. Like looking into Shadowlands, like a lot of different models and stuff. Like I see them reusing a lot of previously used like skeletons and just like repurposing them, and they're actually pulling it off really well. Like there's one mount that uses like a bear model and looks fantastic, and you wouldn't even notice that it's a bear model. And then like these like Necrolord models that I'm talking about right now, they actually look fantastic, and you wouldn't even guess that they're using the Colterian model.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty crazy like how they're able to like repurpose these like
and make it work.
Different models. Exactly. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I'm pretty proud of them.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think if you can reuse the same model and make it different enough to where you don't like to the normal person's eye, like to the layman that they can't tell the difference, then hey, use it. And like obviously like, every video game is going to reuse textures and models and is going to, repurpose some things, right? And I think that's okay. Like it'd be stupid for them to remake it when they already have something that they can already use and just change it a little bit.
Right.
So, like I think the biggest thing too for Shadowlands is that they just make it, I feel like like obviously like you said in Legion, we had really good class fantasy where you had a really cool story based off your class order hall, and I feel like I want that same kind of experience for the Covenants.
Yeah,
I
that's what
want the
they're gonna
Covenants to be
definitely
like
do that. Yeah.
to be obviously like a gameplay related thing because you want it like if you're wanting to pick the best one based off of like the ability or doing damage
Yeah.
or healing or tanking or whatever it is, then
I don't want to do
I
that. Yeah.
then good on you, but like I feel like for the normal person, the majority, I feel like it should be a really good narrative thing that you get really cool looking gear from, and it feels good to
Right.
be a Kyrian or be uh a mauling boy. Like I know for my Death Knight I'm gonna choose Maldraxxus.
Yeah. For sure. 'Cause that's the only way to go. Come on.
So and that's obviously just for my DK. Like I have two other plate wearing classes that I'm going to choose different covenants on because I want a different experience. And then my druid is going to be going to Ardenweald. Obviously, like if you have a druid and you're not going to go to Ardenweald, what are you doing with your life? Like I don't care if the Revendreth one is better for stat wise. Go with the one that fits your class fantasy. That's my opinion on it, and just have fun.
This is something that I tweeted to nobody the other day while I was watching Allcraft.
Tweeted to nobody.
About, like,
nice.
I added the Warcraft devs because like they were talking about this on Allcraft, and I had this idea for a while, and I just didn't know how to like or who to tell.
Yeah.
And it's probably too late for them to do or implement, but like I think I told you the like idea of them reskinning our. Oh, hey, Stabby, what's going on?
What's up, Stabby?
Reskinning our class abilities, or at least some of them,
Yeah.
to fit the aesthetic of the Covenant that we're in.
I think
so that
cool.
would help. It would make it like a little more presentable, or like.
I feel like they could do that with glyphs. So like let's say like with the warrior's charge, if you are a Maldraxxus, when you charge, you know how you have like that little flame that goes behind you? It could be like a necrotic strip that has like has like tiny skeleton arms reaching up out of the ground. Instead of that'd be something that's just like off the top of my head what I can think of, right? Like
I was thinking like because they were making the argument on Allcraft of like why would a paladin roll Maldraxxus, right? Well, it wouldn't make sense at all. But I mean, like, if they were to like give the class abilities like some different like looking, not models, but like effects, then it would be cool. And like maybe it would be something that you get like at the end of the Covenant like storyline. What are you guys laughing at? I didn't even look at the chat.
Sorry.
What are you guys talking about? But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a great idea, and like if they're not already doing it, I really want to get that point across to Blizzard to like maybe reskin like our classes, like the Green Fire Warlock thing. Just make some abilities blue, for Bastion, or red for Rev. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It would be cool. It would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think they're already kind of doing that with some of the profession items too, because you have like the Goblin glider kits. Well, there's Covenant specific glider kits now that are themed towards each Covenant. Yeah, I saw this in Hazelnutty's video. She was talking about a lot of the professions, and the one of the things that she said is like I don't know who makes Goblin glider kits. I don't know if it's engineering or tailoring I don't know what it is, but it's like themed towards that Covenant. So that's just like a little bit of, player agency that you get. And I think like those touches make a world of difference in the grand scheme of things. Because if everyone, it's just like, it's something so small and like not really noticeable, like to other people, but to you, it's like, oh, I have and like, obviously the ones that are the coolest are going to sell the most, right? Like, let's say if like Maldraxxus has like a bunch of holes in it and it's like, like, I don't know, just like I feel like it's just cool. So I wonder if there's gonna be some sort of glider specific content then. Maybe glider.
We'll see. Yeah.
Oh, true. That'd actually be pretty good, dude. Well, I think another thing too is like the Covenant abilities not being balanced, right? I don't really care if they're balanced or not. Me personally, I feel like balance makes a game boring.
Yeah. No, I mean I think the only way to like really pull this system off is to like let us somehow be able to swap between all 4 of the Covenant abilities.
Yeah.
You know, like at our will, right?
Well,
Because
I don't know about
there's
that because
just-
then you don't really have like that player agency that Blizzard's wanting to go with. I feel like that there's
I
a way that they can
understand,
do it
but,
to
like-
basically just basically make the math the same. But then, yeah, I don't know. I feel like
it's just not going to feel good. Like I was hearing Asmund and McCool talk about this. Yes, McCool, not McCuck. Where they were talking about you know, how it's just going to be bad. Like how, like, if we're not going to be able to switch between the different class abilities, then it's just like people are going to feel bad for accidentally rolling with, you know, the Arden wheel. Or
well, I
Void,
think
whatever
too,
the-
like
and,
depending on the patch, like the flavor, it might be like a flavor of the month kind of thing too. You know, where
true.
well, you know, like let's say like 9.1, Revendreth is the best one, and then they
exactly.
they nerf Revendreth, and then Maldraxxus is the best one. Then everyone's gonna have to start over
Exactly.
and switch. Covenant changed token in the store. Maximus actually just
Oh,
figured
shut
out the best way to, you know, make it better. You just
Oh my
make them
God.
pay for it, and then you keep all of your perks. You know, pay to win.
but Ian did say that like we would be able to switch, but it'd be harder to join back, which I do like. Like there's like a
I think
there's,
it should.
like, a
I think it should be.
negative,
I think it should be a big decision. And I feel like for the 1% of people who are Mythic Raiders, who are like, you know, top tier, they go for, you know, server first, you know, region first, raid, you know, whatever it is, they go for that first spot. I feel like for them, WoW is more of like a job than it is a game.
yeah.
Like they, you know, they're there to perform, and they're there to be the best. So you're like, I've already seen posts from like people in Method and Limit that they have 4 alts of the same class,
Mhm.
and they're all going to go to different covenants.
That's terrible. See, like I don't like that at all. That's insane. Like,
But
not
that
everybody
that doesn't
plays WoW
affect
has-
not that only affects 1% of the player base. You know,
Exactly, yeah.
less than 1%. You know, the other
Not
99%
everybody has-
are going to pick whatever looks cool.
Exactly. No, yeah, and that's exactly why I want to choose a covenant, right? Like I want to choose a covenant based on like their story and their aesthetic, and not their best in slot fucking.
You know,
Yeah. Like I don't want to. You know, like I really don't want to roll with like Ardenweald. Like I prefer to go with Maldraxxus, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go with Ardenweald just because like they're better for Mythic Plus or
a
whatever. because
DK
that's my
going
favorite thing
to
do.
Ardenweald
Like,
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No. Wow, somebody lit up. Somebody is smoking weed somewhere.
That's disgusting.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Weed is gross.
No, but yeah, I just think that's the only way to go. Just let us switch between the 4 abilities, because like the covenant system should the covenant system should be something that we choose like for gameplay and lore and like.
Well,
like
I
RP
think the
reasons,
only way that they
whatever,
could do
like-
that is if they make the covenant system cosmetic only,
Yeah.
and they give you no abilities. That's like the, you know, it's almost it's like 2 different. You have the one end of the spectrum, then the other end of the spectrum, where you have one end of the spectrum is where everyone has, you know, every covenant has different abilities. One might be better than the other depending on the situation that you want to be in, and tough titties, that's what you have to go with if you want to be the best gamer. Then you have to go with the one that might have the shitty looking gear, or that doesn't make sense for your class fantasy. Or it could be at the other end of the spectrum where it's only cosmetic. Nothing is changing the game. Nothing's going to change how you play the game. Nothing's going to change your play style. And maybe you just have like a movement ability, and the movement ability is static across all 4 covenants, where it's like increase your movement speed by 100 for 7 seconds, basically like a second dash, right, for druids. And that's what you get. That's all you get. You just get the cool looking gear. Pick whatever one you think is the coolest for your class, and that's it. And I feel like I don't feel like that there's like a really good way to find a middle. I feel like the lesser of 2 evils is thank you, Jenna, for the host. The lesser of 2 evils is the one where it's not balanced. Yes, if you want to be the best, you're gonna have to make sacrifices on having fun, right?
Yeah.
But that's with anything that you want to become like a quote unquote professional in. Like, do you think like professional baseball players have fun every single time they practice? No, but it's their job, and that's what they're there to do. So that, you know, that's just how it is. And I feel like that's the better solution, other than just making it all cosmetic and really making it like it's nothing matters. You know?
Yeah, no. I think that in the end, I think that they'll make the right decision. I think that they're.
Well, I mean.
I mean, we'll see,
Yeah.
but like I have faith that like this time around that they're
That they're going to
since we're
make a
seeing
good
that they're
decision,
so
a good compromise.
yeah, that they'll make a good decision. Yeah,
Yeah.
that they're because it shows that they're like willing to work with us and like
Mhm.
the dialogue is there. Like we're able to actually communicate with them and they're listening this time. So
Yeah.
I think they'll make the good decision in the end.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
Torghast is looking good. Like everything is looking really good. We're neither of us are in the alpha, so we don't really know for sure. But we're just watching streams constantly.
What's up, Digital Bob?
What's up, Digital Bob? But yeah. So I mean, we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I do agree that like Blizzard's communication has been the best that I've seen for any pre-expansion kind
For
of thing.
sure, yeah.
Even
for
like
sure.
even with like Legion stuff, they kind of kept a lot of stuff under wraps and they weren't really talking. They weren't even like going on streams or doing interviews. And I feel like that just like that obviously changed with like the growth of WoW as a viewership base because I feel like obviously like back in the day there's like WoW YouTube, right? WoW YouTube videos. And it was like a very niche small community on YouTube, but now like WoW is like one of the top games on Twitch.
Oh yeah, for
and it may be because of one certain creator, one certain streamer who might be carrying the platform, but regardless,
fan,
it has a super large audience on Twitch, and so now like I feel like it's beneficial to Blizzard to be more open with their communication because they now they have a better platform to do it on.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Also, I think Blizzard is dumb for choosing YouTube gaming as their esports only platform. That's a bad decision, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know what the reasoning for that was, but whatever.
So
no, but yeah, it's crazy like how much influence like people like Asmongold or like SFan and Towley have like on like the actual development of the game. Like they actually invite these creators out to their like offices and like show them what they're doing. And that's pretty insane that they actually do that. Like not a lot of companies do that, like at least to my knowledge. Like I don't really follow like any other like gaming company to that.
I mean, listen, the only game that really matters is World of Warcraft. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest.
True, but yeah. That's crazy.
Real quick, guys, if you are wanting to watch, if let's say if you're just now tuning in, we've been doing this for over an hour now, which is crazy for me to think that like it's already been an hour because. We have like our show notes or whatever, and we have like this entire huge list of stuff that we want to talk about, and some of the stuff we may save till next week or whatever. But almost an hour and a half we've been live, right? And so if you are just now tuning in, we are going to upload this to YouTube. So if you want to catch up with what we already talked about, we are going to have YouTube talk about titties. We already talked about Sylvanas and how she's a huge bitch. So we've already done that. So, but yeah, make sure you guys check us out on YouTube as well.
We're gonna link that later.
We'll link it in later. Yeah, we'll tweet it out or whatever. So, yeah, back to the show. So, I think like one thing that was really good about Legion and bad about BFA is Mythic Plus.
Yeah.
Mythic Plus and Legion was great. Mythic Plus and BFA sucks. One of the reasons is personal loot. And getting bracers every single week in your mythic chest.
So much RNG. So much RNG.
Too much RNG. Yeah. The second thing is the reason why it was really good in Legion and really bad in BFA was Legion. It was a brand new system. There was brand new affixes that were kind of tiered and themed towards Legion. And BFA they just kind of copied and pasted it. And I feel like hopefully in Shadowlands they basically scrap all of the old affixes and create new ones. Obviously like tyrannical and like the generic ones they should probably keep just because like having increased mob health or having increased damage or but I feel like necrotic wake doesn't make sense in Shadowlands when it was very specifically themed towards like Gahoon and that kind of stuff. So I feel like they should definitely scrap that and create new affixes.
I'm sure they will because I'm sure like people have been making enough noise about it recently.
Hope so.
I feel like for me, like I just haven't done any Mythic Plus like ever. Like, I mean, I started doing Mythic Plus like maybe like in the beginning of BFA. Oh, did he just leave? Did he just leave the stream? Is it my stream now? Is he gone? My stream now. I started doing BFA. I mean, started doing Mythic Plus in like the beginning of BFA. Oh, you're good. I started doing Mythic Plus in like the beginning of BFA, and like I stopped getting motivated to bring it back to like my point that I made about gear like I just like wasn't motivated to get like the gear that dropped, so I
Yep.
just stopped doing Mythic Plus, and I really stopped doing it like for months. Like I was doing it a lot on like the BFA beta that I tested it a lot with Mr. GM, like all
Hmm.
of our friends and everything. And then like when BFA launched, like I just like kind of like lost motivation,
Yeah.
and I recently jumped into a Mythic Plus 2 the other day, and it was
A
interesting.
+2. Damn, dude.
Plus 2, I didn't want to do it any higher.
Flexing.
I feel like I feel like it's just it would be more fun to like sit in a Discord and just like
Yeah.
maybe do like some casual Mythic Plus keys with some
Yeah.
friends, but like I don't know if I would want to do it like any hardcore like okay, so we have to do this like and do I don't know like
Yeah.
it's not
I'm
really
like
my
I'm
cup of
like
tea.
for Mythic Plus, my favorite version of Mythic Plus is hanging out in Discord with the boys,
Yeah.
talking shit, hanging out, having fun. If we drop the key, who cares? You know? Like you know, not I don't know. I feel like taking it too seriously is and not that taking seriously is bad or not fun, but I just enjoy it more whenever like I know who I'm in the Mythic Plus with, because I know a
Yeah.
big thing like that I see like Janhub talking about a lot is like people right now they're all wanting to try to get those the plus 15 achievement for the mount because it's going to
Yeah.
be removed in Shadowlands, and I think that they're all trying to. Sorry, my dog is not happy right now. Very food aggressive. Um,
I'm
but
hangry sometimes.
I think the big thing right now is like people they don't care if it fucks over the other people in the key, if they feel like it's going to go south in any
just leave. Yeah.
way, they just leave and it fucks
Yeah, it's
everybody
fucked up.
else up. Yeah, they if like if there's 2 minutes left and they're just now to the last boss, you may clear it, you may not, but then they leave right before the last boss. You're like, well, I just wasted 40 minutes in this key with
Right.
4 strangers and one of them left, and it's just like it just fucks everybody up. And I feel
does, yeah.
I feel like there should be a huge penalty to people who leave the Mythic Plus.
True.
Like I'm
There really
talking
should
like
be.
not no 30-minute deserter bullshit. I'm talking like you just get royally
24
fucked
hours.
for like a whole day. Like fuck you. You're a piece of crap and you don't
See,
deserve
they wouldn't
it.
do that though. They wouldn't do that.
No, they
because
wouldn't.
So many people would just be like, "Oh, this is not good." Like, they'll
I
take
pay
the forums and-
$15 a month to play a game, wizard.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, people are gonna
Disgusting.
rage and and it's just not gonna be good. So
Yeah.
they're not gonna do that. But yeah, like it does suck, and there's like not really much you can do about it.
Just play with your friends. Play with people you know.
Yeah, just that's what I really want to do when Shadowlands comes out. Like I want to actually like get together like a group of like, you know, the boys, like the Twitch boys, and actually like do the content together and shit.
Yep.
So like that would be really cool.
A vote to
vote-
stop the clock on a person leaving. Option to bring someone in, but put a cooldown on it so no abuse. That could be a fix, but then you'd have people leaving and swapping out with somebody who's like better for that specific fight, and then swapping back out and then bringing that person back in. Maybe, and that might be like a way that they can get around it.
Yeah,
2 to 10 keys, silver players, 10 to 14 gold players, 15 bronze, 16 plus is gold through diamond. I see. Or swapping it out with the carry. Yeah, that's right. That's a cooldown. Oh, okay. I guess if there was a cooldown, then they wouldn't be able to, you know. I guess abuse the system. That's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah.
I read that, but I didn't. It just didn't process in my brain. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like Shadowlands is shaping up to be a good expansion. I think it's
Yeah,
going to be good. I don't think it'll be great, but I think it'll be good, and that's good enough.
I mean, they're paving the way for it to be really
Yeah.
good because of how much they're actually like taking our like feedback into account.
yeah,
I think it can't be bad at this point. Like I mean, like it's gonna be like a fan service expansion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
see. But yeah, I'm excited just because of the aesthetic and just like hopefully the lore and the story and just
Mhm.
like the Torghast. I'm excited to progress through Torghast and just like actually play that. Actually test it maybe. We'll see if we get if we get out for a beta. But yeah, like that would be great just to keep pumping that when Shadowlands comes out.
yeah.
One thing that I really want to see.
What's that?
This is just like a little note that we have like here on our document that I
Yeah.
forgot about. In Mechagon, there's like a mount that you can get. You can actually customize like its like color and everything on it.
Oh yeah.
I really want to see customizable like mounts in Shadowlands. Like there's so many different mounts you can get in WoW,
Mhm.
and like no matter how fucking awesome that they are, like they get stale sometimes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like it would be really cool to see like like a transmog type system, like on like a basic mount. So, like, say you get a horse from Stormwind, and you can
Change the
go
armor
out
color.
and actually you can get like gear for the mount or something, and you can like actually transmog gear
Yeah,
onto your mount. I think that's a great idea.
I
like
think that'd be
like a new
really
form of
difficult to
customization.
do. I feel like that'd be really difficult to do to old mounts to like retrofit the system. I feel like it'd be,
Yeah, I mean,
but
they
I
can
feel like
figure
for
it out. I mean,
I
like,
feel like for new mounts they could definitely do that, and maybe like they go
Yeah.
back because I mean then well a good thing about that is that it would make old content relevant again, where they people would go back and clear MC for like that certain drop for that specific mount,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Armor or item or whatever, but then they'd have to make that retrofit every type of mount armor or every single like kind of mount. So like obviously you have like a you have like a tricycle mount, like the heirloom mount is like a tricycle or like a bicycle motorcycle with a with a sidecar.
Well,
So like how would you customize that, because that's technically a mount in the game.
That's
So
true. That's
is
true.
every single mount going to be customizable, or is it going to be just like the racial mount?
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I get that. Like, so to piggyback off of that, if you like Google, I could send it to you. I mean, if you Google Ardenweald Dryad on Google, and you'll see what pops up. Like, it's like a centaur kind of like creature.
Oh
like,
yeah.
If that were, because there's a picture of like somebody riding that, like a human model character
Gachi
riding
Hyper.
that. So like if you want to put it on screen somehow, like if that could be like customizable and put gear on it, like as like an Ardenweald mount or some shit like that.
What's it called?
That would be
Ardenweald
dope.
Dryad?
Dryad, Dryad.
Oh, I see it.
It's so funny looking, and it's got so much potential to like actually be customizable. Like if it were like a mount and like somebody that you like befriend, and then you do like dailies to like actually like get as a mount, that would be dope. Like if you just put some gear on them and customize them, like actually like another like a separate character that you got.
I can see it.
I think that would be dope. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like come do 15s after the podcast. All right, Jennifer, if you carry me, I'll do 15s. How's that?
I'll do one with you.
Yeah, we'll do it.
I want to get that mount too.
Just push your key up. I don't even have a key, dude. I haven't done Mythic Plus in like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a cool idea, because like obviously like well, I think like the Dryad. Obviously, it wouldn't be able to be like a playable race, because it's 4 feet. I think it'd be really weird as a mount, because you're riding a humanoid animal hybrid.
I think that would be fucking great.
It'd be cool to have. It's just something that's just like a cool flavor of the expansion.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think too with the Covenant stuff, they could really expand on that when it comes to mounts. Because like you can get, obviously they have like the specific like Covenant mounts that you can get, and there's like every Covenant should have like a horse mount, right? Like if one Covenant gets a horse and the other 3 don't, then like that Covenant's like the redheaded stepchild of the Covenants, because they're like, oh fuck this Covenant, fuck them, they get a horse, like fuck them, dude.
Yeah.
We have too many horses in WoW, by the way.
Oh, we have so many horses.
But
That's
feel
why
like
I said horse, because
some of this like the moth mount is super cool. From the Ardenweald, like the Ardenweald moth is a really cool mount. And I feel that like if they were to be like, they should be able to like customize those mounts, like whether it be like different tints for the mount, like kind of like how you can paint your Mechano Strider in not Mechano Strider, but the Mechano Cat.
Right,
in Mechagon, kind of like how you're talking about that, but also too like upgrading it, right? So like you get like there's like different tiers to it, and you can ride whichever one you want. It's not like you're forced to have that tier unlocked, but it's just like another level of it, kind of like how you're saying.
There's so many different ideas of like ways you can customize like mounts. Like I think it's just like a wasted opportunity if they don't, expand upon that. Like that would be great. Yeah,
I agree with that. Man, dude, we've been doing this for an hour and 20 minutes. I think.
Yeah, I'm losing track of time, honestly. Yeah.
It's I don't want to talk about everything in one night.
I know.
We have to bait everybody along for the second episode.
That's true.
So obviously with the name PUGcast, pugs are, obviously pickup groups, right? So we are going to have some guests on the podcast. We have a couple people who are confirmed that they want to be on it. We just don't have anything scheduled out just yet. So Adam and I are going to work on that this week to get a guest for next week. That way we just have, obviously like a more robust show experience for you guys.
I'm thinking maybe, Mr. GM or Jay the Bard, because we're obviously close with them.
Asmongold
It's just tough
Pog.
to find, like, what's that?
Asmongold Pog, that's what Janheb was saying.
That would be Pog, yeah, of course.
If we could get Asmongold on the podcast, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Guys, we are going to start uploading this to, YouTube. We're going to have the VOD uploaded to YouTube. Obviously, we're going to be live on this channel. On the podcasts are going to be on Monday night. I couldn't do the podcast last night because it was my wedding anniversary. 7 years married.
I love how he said to me, like, oh, we should do it on, like, Monday night. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. He texted me the next day saying, oh, by the way, I can't do Monday night. It's my anniversary. I forgot.
I didn't. Okay, listen. I didn't forget that it was my anniversary. I just didn't check the calendar. Okay, I didn't check the calendar. I was caught up in the heat of the moment. I wanted to start a podcast with my friend. So, listen. I didn't forget that it was my anniversary. Okay, I knew that it was on 5/25. I just didn't realize that was a Monday. If 5/25 was a Sunday, no big deal. It would have been on Monday, but it's tonight. So technically, this is the EU edition because their resets tomorrow. So we're technically not, falsely advertising our podcast style and theme because reset for them is tomorrow.
True, that's true.
That's my defense.
I think a good way to segue out of into the ending of the show is to ask the question: what are you most excited for when it comes to Shadowlands? And then I think, like, what I want to try and do is maybe do, like, a Twitter thread of, like, what people are the most excited for in Shadowlands, or, like, a wish list kind of a thing. Like, what do you want to see in Shadowlands? And kind of make a Twitter thread, and we'll go through it and, like, discuss it next week and see, like, what people come up with.
Obviously, this has already been confirmed, so, like, I can't really say that this is the thing that I'm wishing for, but, like, class sets are confirmed to be coming back in Shadowlands. Ian did confirm that they are going to be adding class sets, but I think the thing that I'm most excited about for Shadowlands is I think just exploring the new world, right? Exploring everything, looking at all the zones and just exploring the expansion. That's what I'm most excited about. What about you, Adam?
I mean, I'm excited
and also
about
killing
a lot
Sylvanas. I fucking hate that bitch, dude.
Kill Sylvanas, yeah, sure. I think just like customizable mounts. Like, that's a big thing that I want. Just playable Covenant races. I mean, I don't know. There are just a lot of things that
excite you about this.
I asked the question and I can't even think of I can't even think of my answer. Like the number one thing that I'm most excited for, or want to see. I mean, I talked about everything I want to see. So
yeah. I think
more
that
like
it's going to be.
Customization and
I think it's going to be good.
And,
yep.
Yeah, just all of that. Just
I feel like obviously Legion was like 3 steps forward. BFA is 2 steps back, and hopefully Shadowlands is just 2 more steps forward. If Shadowlands can be as good as Legion, then I feel like me as a WoW player will be satisfied with the expansion.
I'm treating Shadowlands like, I probably shouldn't be doing this, but I'm treating Shadowlands like it were WoW 2. So like I'm going into it like I wanted to go into it fresh. Like I'm looking at it like it's a fresh game, and I want to go into it fresh, and I want to like make sure that it survives and thrives. And So
Luke says it should be 3. Obviously, they should strive to make it better than Legion. But I'm saying for me, like for my like overall happiness with the expansion, if I enjoy Shadowlands as much as I enjoyed Legion, I'm happy, right? Obviously, if it's better, then like, hey, there it is. I'm even more happy. But I think that it should be as good as Legion. So
I want to mindlessly play this game all the time. All day,
and I want to have
like
alts.
I did Legion. So what?
I want to have alts.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I have plenty of alts, but now I don't play any of them.
Well, I want alts to be fun. That's a better way to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, we are gonna. If you guys want to stick around, I am gonna continue streaming. We're gonna stream some BFA. We're gonna stream some WoW. I might delete my mage in Classic after I send my gold to that I owe to Donut Jared. But guys, thank you guys for watching the first episode of the PUGcast.
Fast. Okay.
It went by so fast.
Yeah.
Luke, don't even worry. I'm not even on Fairlena. This is on a different character. Rip the Lord and Jared's podcast actually scammed out of their deal. Listen, Adam came to me with the idea, and I decided to take advantage of it, and not take advantage of it. That's probably a really shy way to say it.
This was originally an idea that I hatched with Mr. GM, and I was just like, "Yo, like you should be doing this. Like, why are you not? Like, you should be hosting a podcast every week with all these different content creators and putting everybody's like feedback and opinion in one place, and it would get a lot of attention." And Dan's like, "Oh yeah, it's a great idea. Oh yeah," and I gave him like a name and everything, and then he was just like, "I don't know."
What was it? What was the name that you gave him? What was the name that you gave him? I'm curious to see what it was.
I gave him Into the Shadowlands, like the show Into the Badlands.
Okay.
And I designed the logo like the show, and I made it Into the Shadowlands. And I made it look really nice, but he was just like, "I don't know, I'm just so busy. I'm doing videos and doing streams and everything, whatever."
Oh, so I'm Mr. Like, you know GM. I'm so busy. I make videos every single day. Listen, dude, I'm not busy at all. I'm not even working right now, okay?
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I was just like, you know what? I just want to do this with Chocolate. Do you mind? Like, we can bring you on, whatever. And he's like, "Yep, do it. Fine." So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, there it is.
Shout out to Mr. GM. Hopefully, we'll see you on here at a EU-friendly time.
Yep. Probably not, though, because this is like 3 o'clock it's like 4 a.m. over there.
Exactly, yeah.
So, guys, again, thank you for tuning in for the first episode of the PUGcast. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are going to post a link to that. Can you post a link to that in the chat? That way we can just have that ready to go. But yeah, we're going to be uploading the VODs to YouTube. When's the 4 a.m. EST EU streams? Never. But guys, follow the channel. I know everyone's here is already one of the boys, but I feel like this is going to be a lot of fun. Every Monday night we're going to be doing this, obviously except for tonight. But every Monday night we're going to be doing this. We're going to see if we can get a guest on for next week, and just have more fun, boys. We're going to bring on all the boys. So if you guys are interested in it, just DM us, slide into our DMs. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be playing some BFA right after this. I don't know, Adam, if you're gonna stay on. There's a YouTube channel right there, guys. So make sure you go subscribe to that.
No views, no subscribers, no nothing.
Listen, so. we're ground level. Ground level. We're at 0, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, have a great rest of your evening, and we are going to switch it over to WoW stream. Well, this is obviously a WoW stream, but it's a podcast. But anyway, so well.